73 from KG4 COQ in Lake Worth, Florida. Well, have a good day, Paul. Good morning to Randall, K8F UFM. Good morning.
Good morning, Dick. Good morning, Mark, and good morning to the rest of the Brew crew this morning. Brownstown Township. Dick. But with that said, about 6 months ago on the flat tire. So back to net control. This is K8 UFM, Randall from Brownstown Township, Michigan. Everyone have an outstanding Thursday.
I don't know why I have trouble with that, Randall, but that's, you know, if we can't have fun in the morning, we don't deserve to be here. Good morning to Alman in Miami, Florida. Someone with us this morning, bright and early, W4AEB.
Good morning, everyone, on the the morning brew. Hopefully everybody's doing well today. It's about 2+ years ago on a construction site, picked up a screw. Fortunately, it was in a flat part of the tire on the sidewall, so they were able to plug it and get me on my way. Fortunately, they all try to sell you new tires these days. Nobody wants to fix them. But anyway, W4AE 70, buddy.
That's for sure. I can tell you a story later about the dealership a year or so ago wanting to sell me new tires. I did a car inspection. They said, you know, probably only got a little over a year or so left on your tires. I think we should replace them. I looked at them. I said, a year or so? Good morning to Ray in Beaver, Pennsylvania, N3DQA. Ray, let me rephrase this for you this morning. Have you ever been a passenger in a car that has had a flat tire?
Dick, Mark, the rest of the crew in there this morning. Yes, the last time, though, that I was in a car that acquired a flat tire was probably somewhere 98. I was traveling with a friend, and we developed a flat tire. That was the last time. This is N3DQD.
Great. Have a nice day. Joe in Claremont, probably on his way to work. Good morning, Joe.
Hey, good morning, Dick. Good morning, Mark. Good morning to the crew. I am not going to help your average haul, my friend. Less than a month. In fact, I remember it well. March 2nd of this year, I was heading out to visit my son. He lives about 4 hours away, so a little bit of a trip. And, you know, lo and behold, I start the car and the lights on, and, yep, son of a gun. There I had the flat tire. Got it taken care of. Made the trip anyhow, but what a drag. What a way to start the trip. Hey, everybody, take care. Have a great Thursday. It's KM4WZD.
You are right, Joe. You did not help the average this morning one little bit. Good morning to Gary, K4HBT.
This is an interesting question. I had to think about it for a long time. I guess I have been extremely fortunate. As far as a personal vehicle goes, I'd have to go back at least 25 years before I can remember a flat-out personal vehicle. I used to drive commercially. I was driving a fuel tanker about 16, 17 years ago when one of the drive tires let loose. That's it for me. Anyways, K4HBT, back to net control.
Thanks, Gary. Sun City Center, Florida. Good morning, Charlie, NA2B.
Good morning, Dick, Mickey, and everybody on the net from Birdie 9, Tampa Bay. Nice morning this morning, 68 degrees. Response to the question, I'd have
say 10 years ago was the last flat tire I remember. Was in a motorhome, our motorhome. And it was in a spot couldn't be plugged. And trust me when I tell you, when you have one of those, it puts a big dent in your wallet. HI. Have a good day. Thanks for what you do. WB2JPQNA 2B back to that.
I'm sure that wasn't a cheap experience. K4MMX, Oakland Park, Florida. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. Well, the last time I had a flat tire was back in 1986, 40 years ago. Any other times, I've always caught the tire before it went completely flat. And since TPMS, the tire pressure management, in newer cars, never. K4MMX, back to net.
40 plus years. That helped our average. Thank you. Good morning, way out in Phoenix, Arizona. Good morning, Clark. KK7DY.
Good morning, Dick, Mark, and the rest of the Brew crew. Well, it's been 6 to 10 years since I've had a flat tire. Back to net control, KK7DY.
Clark, good to hear you. Woodstock, Georgia. Good morning, Bill. KI4EGQ.
Well, good morning, Dick, and to all the Brew crewers out there. Let's see, last time I had a flat tire was we were towing a boat, had a double axle trailer, and we were towing a boat from Atlanta up to southern New Jersey. And popped over there somewhere in New Jersey, and the boat insurance has a trailer coverage on there, so rather than trying to jack up 10,000 pounds of boat and trailer, I'd call that service, and they were out within an hour. Great guys. And if I ever said anything bad about New Jersey, I'd take it all back. And hope everybody has a great week. KI4EGQ.
Well, good morning, everyone. This is Scott N7FGP in Jamestown, New York. Let me go through. We have a few more text check-ins here. Let me run through them real quick. We have Kenneth in the Villages. We have Randy, W2RBC. Charles in Belmont, North Carolina. We have Rod in Madison, West Virginia. Ken, AA0UU. We have Al in Michigan, K8BAC. Hey, good morning, Al. I have Gary, N8ZFS. We have Elmer, KB5NJU, who is probably mobile, so we'll get to you in a second. We have Jose, KJ5MELN, Anna in Beaver, Pennsylvania, KD3AJN. Let's get on over to our mobile station, Elmer, KB5NJU. Let's see. The last time you had a flat tire. Over to you, Elmer.
This is KB5NJU. Yeah, I'm in my car, but mobile is another story. A little bit of traffic this morning. My last flat tire was in July of 2016. I was hauling a U-Haul with my car on a trailer from Texas, moving back to Michigan, and got a flat about halfway between Dallas and Texarkana. I tell you, I was really impressed with U-Haul's roadside assistance, because they had a guy out there within a half an hour, was set up like a NASCAR pit crew, had that tire changed in about 2 seconds, and I was on my way. Happy Thursday, 7-3 KB5 NJU Mobile.
All right, Elmer. Yeah, it's been about that same amount of time for me, too. I just remembered had a blowout on the RV about that same Here's the time. All right, let's get on with the text check-ins here. We have Richard in Sumter, South Carolina, in for RSM. Good morning, Richard. How are you? Let's try Richard one more time. In for RSM. Good morning.
Good morning to everyone on the Brew Crew. My last flat tire was a couple years ago. Got a patch plug in it. Good to go. Back to you.
All right, Richard, thanks for checking in this morning. And let's move on down to Joe in Deerfield Beach, Florida, in 3SQR. Good morning, Joe.
Good morning, Scott, Dick, and Mark, and the rest of the crew. About 3 years ago, we were hog hunting, and I picked some brew out when we were romping around out there, and used my Milwaukee compressor, pumped her back up, got to where I cleaned the mud, stick a plug in her, and she was good for another year and a half. So have a good one. God bless. 7-3 and 3SQR back to that.
All right, Joe, thanks for checking in this morning, and have a great day. Try Chuck in Newcastle, Pennsylvania, W3EVE. Good morning, Chuck.
Good morning, Scott, Mark, Dick, everybody in the Brew there. For me, it was exactly 1 month ago, and I carry one of those little portable pumps in the car, and it really helped out. It got me to the tire store there. So with that, have a great day. W3CVE.
All right, Chuck, yeah, those portable pumps, they actually work very well. I carry one on my e-bike with me. So thanks for checking in this morning, and have a great day. Let's try Scott in Eagle, Wisconsin, KE9EST. Good morning, Scott.
Well, good morning, everyone on the Brew Crew. I had to think about this a little bit as well. So I think it's been about 10 years since I had a flat, and that's company vehicle. Okay, KE9EST, back to that.
All right, Scott, we've got you down with 6 to 10 years there. Have a great day and drive safely. Mark in Plymouth, Minnesota, N0CKV. Good morning, Mark.
Morning, everybody on the Brew Crew. I went through a huge pothole, and there was an explosive decompression about 6 years ago. The tire was completely shredded. Everybody have a great Thursday, and 0CKV back to net.
All right, Mark, thanks for checking in this morning. Let's try Dan in Sterling Heights, Michigan, WA8EGV. Morning, Dan.
Morning, Scott, and everybody on the Brew. This is WA8PGV in Sterling Heights. I had a flat last year with my vehicle sitting in the driveway overnight, but it turned out to be a bad Schrader valve. It was perfectly okay. Back to you, WA8PGV.
Well, that's a lot cheaper, I think, probably than a new tire. Thanks for checking in this morning, and let's try Stephen in Easton, Pennsylvania, WB3ILA. Good morning, Stephen.
Good morning, Scott. Not quite sure. It's been a while, a few years. Is it a road there, pothole, and destroyed the rim? I don't want to live that over again. So anyway, back to the net, the WB3ILN.
All right, Stephen, thanks for checking in this morning. Jimmy in Indiana, KD9YUZ. Good morning, Jimmy.
Well, good morning, Scott and Dick and everybody out there on the... It's been every bit of 30 years since I had a flat last. As a matter of fact, I can't even remember the exact circumstance. I've always considered myself incredibly lucky and hope I didn't just jinx myself. Everybody have a great day. KD9YUZ back to net.
All right, Jimmy. We hope you didn't jinx yourself, too. Greg in Pennsylvania, KB3EYR. Good morning, Greg.
Good morning, Scott, Mark, Dick, everybody on the Brew Crew this morning. This is KB3EYR. And, it was just back in February, right before one of the big snowstorms here. Went out to the garage to get the truck ready and had a screw sticking right out of the tire. So, fortunately, the garage, I could change it easily, but not that long ago. Hope you have a great day. Back to net control.
All right, Greg, thanks for checking in this morning. And let's go to Truman in Summerfield, Florida. Looks like Truman is new to the system here. KR4JJW. Good morning, Truman. Okay, let's try Truman one more time. KR4JJW. Good morning. All right, we're going to give Truman an in and out there, and let's see, we have some more text check-ins here, but let's see who we have. We have Bob from Michigan, KQ8U. We have Jeff from Ohio. We have Greg from Purvis, John from South St. Paul, Minnesota, Kenneth from the Villages, and let's see, let's go ahead and take some general check-ins. If you would like to check into the Morning Brew this morning, just need your call sign twice and slowly. Try to space it out just a bit. And let's see, go ahead and call now.
VLK, N2, VLK, E5, WJK,
Whiskey Lima Hotel, Whiskey 5, Whiskey Lima Hotel.
Hello, Victor Alpha 3, Yankee Bravo Sierra, Victor Alpha 3, Yankee Bravo Sierra. Foxtrot 0, Victor Mike Charlie.
Kilo India 5, November, Quebec, Charlie. Kilo India 5, November, Quebec, Charlie. In and out.
All right, let me see here. We had a couple of train wrecks there. First of all, we have Bill, W8WHK. We had Raul from Pasadena, Texas, KI5NQC, who is in and out. Thank you for checking in this morning. It looks like we have Tim in Lincoln, Nebraska, KF0VMC. We had Bill in Dunville, VA3YPS. Lee in Wimberley, Texas, W5WLH. We had Jeff N2VLK, and I thought I heard a mobile station in there. If you tried to check in and I didn't just call your call sign, come back with your call sign twice and slowly. Go now.
W2, CJM, Whiskey 2, Charlie Julia Mike, Mobile.
At Uniform Whiskey, K04JQW.
me grab it here. That last KL4JUW, is that correct? Come back with your correct call sign for me, please.
Oscar 4, Juliet, Uniform Whiskey.
For Juliet Uniform Whiskey. Noah, looks like you're new to the system too. All right, let's go. We had Charles, who's mobile, W2CJM. Let's go to Charles. Charles, good morning. When was the last time you had a flat tire? Over to you.
Everybody on the crew, it has to be about 2 years ago. Thanks for doing the net. Have a great day.
All right, Charles, we got you down for 2 years ago. You have a great afternoon or morning also. All right, let's go back up to the top of the list here, and we have Anna, Beaver, KD3HAN. Anna, when was the last time you were riding in a car that had a flat? Over to you.
Good morning, Scott, and everybody else in there this morning. Well, I can't remember. It's been a long time. Everyone have a great day. KD3A.
Right, Anna. We've got you for a long time, and you have a wonderful morning. Jose in Austin, Texas, KJ5MEL. Good morning, Jose. Oh, let's see. Let's try Jose one more time. KJ5MEL.
KJ5MEL. I had a encounter with a curb, about 4 months ago, and I had to buy a new tire. Bless you all. Thank you for running the net, and please forgive me for the delay. Have a great day. Bless you all.
Oh, no problem, Jose. Don't you hate it when those curbs jump out and bite your tires? All right, Gary in Woodhaven, Michigan, N8ZFH. Good morning, Gary.
Morning, Scott and the crew. And I think it's close to 2 years, but you guys could just about get it down to the week. It was within a week of the question that was asked regarding, do you know how to change your tire, or do you know where the jack is? So I did a little YouTube thing because it's a little truck, and the jack was under the seat. I had to put the handle together, shove it through a hole in the bumper to lower the tire. So it was a good learning experience just in time. So I hope you don't jinx me again. Everybody have a great day. NH, back to net.
Well, Gary, we try to be educational. All right, you have a great day, and we hope you didn't get jinxed again. Let's try Al, my Tuesday partner there, K8BAC. Good morning, Al.
Morning, Scott. Everybody on the Brew crew. Well, if we're talking my vehicle, probably been over 10 years. If we're talking the tractor, it's sitting out in the barn right now with a flat tire and needs an inner tube because I ran over something back in the fall. So, take a pick. Everybody have a great day, and hopefully see you Saturday morning on the 40-meter net. Back to you, KBAC.
All right, Al. Have a great day. Ken in Council Bluffs, AA0UU. Good morning, Ken.
Well, good morning to you too, Scott, and everybody else in the crew. I would say it's about 2 years for me. Went out in the morning, and there it was sitting in the driveway. Went back in the house, coffee, sat down there, stared at it until the coffee was gone, and then pulled it off. Took the tire into town, got it fixed up, brought back out and back on. Fortunately, didn't have to be anywhere at the time, so it was a no-stress ordeal. Hey, everybody have a super day, 7-3. This is AA0UU, back to net.
All right, Ken, I'm all about the no-stress ordeals there. Thanks for checking in, and have a great day. Rod in Madison, West Virginia, WD8KOB. Good morning, Rod.
Well, good morning, Ned. This is WD8KOB. Hope everybody's having a good old Thursday morning. Boy, this is a tough question. I don't ever remember having a flat tire. I may have, way back there somewhere, but I don't really remember it. I have had tires lose air, but I've always been able to keep the tire pumped up so I can get it someplace and have it fixed. I don't call that a flat. Alrighty, thanks for the question. You guys have a great day. WD8KOB, back to that.
Right, Rod. Okay, you have a great day, too. Charles in Belmont, North Carolina, KR4AEG. Good morning, Charles. Try Charles one more time there. KR4AEG. All right, I don't think that was Charles. We're going to mark Charles as an in and out, and let's go to one of our hardest working team members here, I think, in West Seneca, New York. W2RBC. Good morning, Randy.
Good morning, Scott, Mark, and everyone on the Morning Brew. It's been at least 20 years since I had a flat tire. Luckily, it was a slow leak, so I was able to get home before it ran out of air. Back to net control, 73 to all, W2RBC.
All right, Randy, if you're going to have a flat, that's the kind to have. Thanks for checking in this morning, and have a great day. Kenneth in the Villages, Florida, AB4KT. Good morning, Kenneth.
Yeah, good morning, David. Ken, AB4KT in the Villages, Florida. I have had many flat tires. I used to do a lot of off-road driving. I would have 5 or 6 flat tires a year. I carried a floor jack and an impact wrench with me. But the last time I had a flat tire, plural, was in 2012. I drove a utility trailer across the country, and I had 5 flat tires on the trailer. But again, I had the floor jack and an impact wrench to change all of them. One of which occurred when I was passing another car and the tire blew out almost right in the guy's face. Everybody have a great day. Back to net.
Holy moly, Ken, you have a lot of flat tires there. All right, we got you down there. Let's try John in South St. Paul. KB0GUF. Good morning, John.
Good morning. Thanks for having me. KB0GUF. Put me down, I can't really remember. So put me down for 7 years ago. And thanks for having me. KB0GUF. Clear.
All right, John, we got you in that 7-year category. Thanks for checking in, and have a great day. Greg in Purvis, KJ5LJJ. Good morning, Greg.
Hey, good morning, crew. I think that's about years ago. This is Greg, KJ50JJ. Back to you, Nick Control.
All right, Greg, we got you down there. You got a little buzz there on your radio there. Let's try Jeff in Perrysburg, Ohio, KG8QP. Good morning, Jeff.
Good morning, Scott, and everybody on the Brew. Put me down for 6 years. The last time I had a real flat that I had to get repaired, and I learned that with my car, if the tread is over a certain depth, that you get to get 4 new tires instead of just 1. So with that, have a great day. Back to the KG8QB.
Oh, yeah. Been there, done that. The other thing is years. If it's over a certain time period, you get new tires. Bob in Ecorse, Michigan, KQ8. Good morning, Bob.
Morning, Scott, Mark, and the rest of the crew. It's about been 25 years. I used to lease a towel. See, we got so many nails and stuff in the tires, they said we can't fix the tire anymore. And that was, this car I've had 20 years, and it's never had a flat. Knock on wood, I don't even want to say that, but it's been like 25 years. Have a good day. KQ8U, Bassinet.
Right, Bob. We got you down there. Have a wonderful day. Jeff in Lancaster, New York, into VLK. Good morning, Jeff.
Good morning, Scott and Dick and Mark. I guess I did my cipher in here the best I could, and it's 30 plus years since I've had a flat tire on one of my vehicles. Probably shouldn't have said it, but I did. And Scott, I'd like to get with you one day when I get down to the lake. I'll be down there in a couple weeks, and maybe I'll try your repeater out. I'll be clear. I'll talk to you later. And to VLK.
All right, Jeff. Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, I'm still getting that report tuned up a little bit, so it'll be there. Anyhow, thanks for checking in, and have a great day. Lee in Wimberley, Texas, W5WLH. Good morning, Lee.
Good morning, Scott. Everybody else, our logging crew, everybody. I appreciate you taking the time to do this. So January was the month for tires, flat tires. I had 3 in January. I think they roofed my house, and I picked up nails. So we had 3 flat tires in January. Whiskey 5, Lima Hotel, back to net control.
Right, Lee, we've got you down there. Thanks for checking in this morning. Bill in Dunnville, Ontario, VA3 YBS. Good morning, Bill.
Good morning, Scott, and everybody on the net this morning. It has been exactly 3 weeks since I had a flat tire. We got home from Florida, and my truck had a flat tire sitting. It had been sitting in the driveway all winter while we were away. And my son was supposed to put air in it because we knew it had a slow leak, but well, what can I say? Anyway, I just pumped it up with air, and it held, and it's good. So anyway, thanks for doing the net. This is VA3 YBS.
All right, Bill. Yeah, kids these days. All right, thanks for checking in, and have a great day. Tim in Lincoln, Nebraska, KF0VMC. Good morning, Tim.
Good morning, Scott, everybody on the Brew crew, everybody out there on the morning Brew. It's been about 7 months ago, right in the church parking lot. That's where we got our flat. It was because they roofed the roof on the church, and yeah, nails got down there. Anyway, that was the last time we had one, so
You guys have a very good day today, and all take care. This is KF0VMC, and we be clear. 3.
All right, Tim, thanks for checking in this morning. Let's see, let's try Bill in North Fort Myers, Florida. W8, WHK, good morning, Bill.
Good morning. It's, what's the temperature? 62 degrees. 65, I think it dropped a little bit, and it's foggy. But that might have something to do with it. Anyway, it was about a year ago. After one of the hurricanes, picked up a nail, like a lot of nails, you know, especially when they're repairing roofs and things around the neighborhood. And one of the things I bought, and I doubted why I did it when I bought it, I got the tire insurance from the dealer, and it was well worth it. I think I had 3 flat tires. One of them I had to replace the whole tire, and it paid for itself. So I guess I'm going to have to get that again when I get a new car. Okay, back to you. This is W8WHK73, everyone. And back to net control.
Thanks, Bill. Interesting story. This is Dick WB2JP Quebec. Noah in Tennessee, KQ4JUW. Looks like you're new to the system, to the net. Good morning, Noah. KQ4JUW. Are you still with us? That mark, we'll have to mark him one and done. We got, via the text line, we got Neil from North Carolina, got Jeff from Rochester Hills, Bob from Hamburg, Terry from Austin, Bill from Hobbs, New Mexico, Mike from Grosse Pointe, Michigan, and Anthony from New Jersey. I'm going to take some radio twice and slowly, guys and gals. Radio check-ins. We'll get some of these worked in here with our many text check-ins this morning. Call signs twice and slowly, please. This is Dick WB2JPQ.
Bravo. KJ5, WGR, KJ5, Charlie, Kilo, Romeo, Echo 2, Charlie, Kilo, in and out.
Wait, Papa Lima Victor, KB8 PLV, Chris.
Whiskey Delta 8, Papa India Charlie, WD8 PAC.
Victor, November 3, Mike Delta Charlie. November 3, Mike Delta Charlie.
November 6 Kilo, November Echo. November 6 Kilo, November Echo.
All right, let's run with this list. Good morning to Ken and 6KNE. Just for Ken, what we got was a Victor. The station for Ken was a Victor. Call sign twice, please.
Scott, I do talk about me. I don't know if but Scott, I'll give my calls again. November 3, Mike Delta Charlie.
We got you, Mike.
KO4JUW, checking in again, too.
We got Matt, was in and out. Walter in Houston, Texas. And I guess whoever that was, I'll have to call back in, I guess. Nobody came back to us with a Victor. Let's go to Walter in Houston, Texas, KJ5WGR. Good morning. Our question for everybody this morning, when was the last time you had a flat tire?
Good morning, everyone from Houston. I would say about 5 years ago is the last time I had a flat tire, and have a great day. Back to net control.
Thank you, Walter. Matthew, KE2CCK was in and out. Good morning to you. Chris, good morning. KB8PLV.
Good morning to everyone on the net. Hope it's going well. It's been about 3 years. It was in a car garage. Kind of had to drive it out front to get to the help and assistance, but it all turned out okay. This is KB8PLV, 73s to all.
Thank you, Chris. Bob from Sylvania, Ohio. WDAPIC is up next, and as we did twice previous to you, Bob, question is for you. The last time you rode in a car that had a flat tire?
KO4JUW trying to check in. KO4JUW.
Well, we're not taking check-ins at this time. Bob, go right ahead.
Website www.it si invita a aspettare 7 secondi tra un passaggio e l'altro. Grazie. I've seen Radio World.
Okay. I guess I can go ahead now. 2006 with my dad, and I helped to find it for him. He was losing his hearing and various things, and so he always had me ride along for any car problems, and I enjoyed doing that. He died in '07 of a weak heart. And I do not trust the driverless cars, and of course, being totally blind, I will not. I want a woman behind the wheel. Back to net control. By the way, 51 and headed for the low 70s today, with severe storms later on. Back to net control.
Thank you, Bob. I get 55 today. I hadn't even looked yet today, so it looks like it's going to be nice. Good morning to Michael, N3N, or MDC.
KO4JUW.
The KO4 station, we are not taking check-ins at this time. Please stand by. Michael, Winston-Salem, North Carolina, N3MDC. Good morning.
On the last round.
Back in the Brew Crew. Well, Scott, that was when I still lived in Colorado. My mom and I were just getting done having lunch at Applebee's, and we didn't know why our car wouldn't roll. And we looked out and we had a flat tire. And that was embarrassing to come out and have lunch, get done having lunch and notice I have a flat tire. Everybody knows that I leave from Myrtle Beach on today. So everybody take care, and I'll talk to y'all tomorrow from Myrtle Beach. Have a good one, Scott. It's 3MDC.
You skipped over me.
Michael, I sent Scott for coffee. We're tag teaming here this morning to break it up a little bit for you guys and gals. Thank you for being there. Drive safe to Myrtle Beach. Ken, good morning. N6KNE.
KO4JUW. You skipped over me, sir.
You betcha. Went to high school, and several years after I drove for a tow truck company. So yeah, I definitely changing some tires. Thank you for taking my check-in. N6KNE here in Chenal, Columbia. My name is Ken.
Good to see you this morning, Ken. Thanks for being here. We got Chuck in Lancaster on the text line and Gil in Orlando. I'm going back up to Jeff. No, I'm going up to Neil. Going back up to line 75, Mark, trying to get through some of these text check-ins. Durham, North Carolina, KR4HBO. Good morning, Neil.
Good morning from the Baltic. About 10 years ago, I hit one of those metal plates on the highway just wrong. Not only did it blow out the tire, but it also dented the rim. Back to net, KR4HBQ.
When it gets into the rim, it gets costly, doesn't it? Boy, oh boy. Good morning, Jeff, Rochester Hills, KE8SMN.
Good morning, Dick. Everyone on the Brew, this is KE8SMN. Put me down for over 7 years. Hit a pothole, had a paver brick in the bottom, split the tire wide open, and put a hole in the rim. KE8SMN.
Thank you, Jeff. My neighbor Bob, KC2JZE. We can get a flat tire on any of our roads around here, Bob. They are absolutely terrible. Good morning.
Good morning, Dick, and everyone out there on the net. Yeah, our roads are not the greatest. This winter has really wreaked havoc on the pavement. I cannot remember, thankfully, the last time I did have a flat tire, and I hope that it's not jinx that. Back to net, everyone, KC2JZ.
Thanks, Bob. Good morning to Terry in Austin, Texas, N5RTC. See, Terry joined us in the Zoom room this morning as well.
Good morning, Dick, Scott, Mark on the and everybody on the Morning Brew. My last flat tire was 2010 in Lincoln, Nebraska. N5 RTC clear.
If you remember that well, Terry, there must be a story behind that. We'll have to catch up on that later. Good morning to Bill in Hobbs, New Mexico, KI5PMI.
Good morning, Dick, everybody on the Brew. It's been about a year for me. Hope everybody has a great day. KI5PMI. Back in it.
Hey, about a year. There goes our average again. Good morning to Mike. N8HLN, Grosse Point, Michigan.
Yeah, good morning, Dick, Vicky, and the crew. Coming to you again this morning from Northport, Florida, where it's 65 degrees. Got a few more days down here, so we're soaking it up. Kind of reluctant to answer this question because I can't ever remember having a flat. I remember helping others repair them, and I remember watching my dad repair one when I was a boy, but knock on wood, never had one myself. So back to net, N8HLN.
KO4JUW. Yeah.
Car with that had a flat tire. W2HAV, Anthony, are you still with me? Nothing from Anthony. I guess we'll make him one and done. We'll go down to Gil in Orlando. K4GDS. Gil, you might want to tell us about the M1KE tonight in the Zoom room.
Good morning, Dick and Mark, everyone else on the Brew. Yeah, M1KE peer discussion, 8 p.m. in the Zoom room. If you have questions about the device or just want to complain about it, come on out and join us. We'll be there at 8 Eastern. And as far as the tire, I'm going to really mess up your average. About a month ago, got a nail or a screw in the tire. Thanks to the monitoring systems, it never was actually flat, but it was getting really close. And it was right on the edge, so it couldn't be patched. Cost me $100 or $200 for a new tire. K4 GDS, back to net.
Oh boy, and I forgot what it was. I had one of the monitoring system sensors go bad, and it was, I believe, I want to say it was like $225, something like that. A week later, I had another one go out. So I assume that there's, batteries are in them, obviously, and the batteries just decided to go dead. Within a month, all 4 of them were out, and I said, I am not going to replace them. Good morning, Chuck. W2EM down at Paradise, Florida, wherever you are.
Good morning, Dick, Vicky, and the rest. It's beautiful down here in Paradise. It's really nice. In fact, we're just about ready to go out and meet a bunch of hams for breakfast. I remember exactly my last flat tire. It was 2022, and I was coming back from Orlando hamcation, and I got a flat tire tonight in the middle of no place. Not the best situation, but it was what it was. Anyway, I was thinking I didn't have a flat tire. I couldn't remember, but then I remembered, it's coming back there. That was my last one. All right, back to that. W2EM.
I thought you were good. I was hoping you weren't going to say you had one on the hearse in your former career. That wouldn't have been good. Umatilla, Florida, KO4QMM. Good morning. It's Thursday. Tell us about what happens at 10 o'clock, Roger.
Well, good morning, my friends on the Brew crew. At 10 o'clock this I do believe there is an East Coast Reflector 20 meters at 14.317, hopefully give or take. And Randy, if we change the Randy usually puts it up on the log and people can find us there. And been about 20 years, Dick. Brings up a memory. I worked down there in Pine like 21 years. And one morning, about 5:30 in the morning, I was going over Colonial Drive there in Pine Hills Road, and they must have had an accident over the evening, and they had a pile of debris in the road. I hit that pile of debris, and one of my all BF Goodrich all-terrain on my Toyota started going, and I only had a mile to make it back to work, so I kept going. I did not want to stop in Pine Hills at 5:30 in the morning, so I made it to work. For a KO4QMM clear.
Here you go. Come join Roger, 10 o'clock, 14317. Good morning to Ron in Amherst, New York, WA2WWK. Let me repeat our question this morning for those of you that are just joining us. When was the last time you had a flat tire? Morning, Ron.
Well, good morning, guys. Thank you, buddy. WK on DMR. Thank you, Dick. Thank you, Vicky, for the advice session. It happened on Bailey Avenue, which is one of our major streets around here. And I picked up probably a 12-inch screwdriver. Went right through the tread on it. I pulled off the head. I just been at 90 degrees, and what can I say? They were able to plug it. I was a little bit surprised at that, and they held for almost 2 years. So that's my story, and I guess I got to stick to it. The BTW. WK.
Thanks, Ron. I know we hadn't heard you for a while. I had said to somebody, a couple people in the Zoom, and we hadn't heard from you for a while. It was good to hear you last week or whenever you got back. Good morning to one of our retired Hall of Fame people from the Morning Brew, Mr. Scott, W2BLT. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Dick and everybody on the net. You know, I'm just sitting here thinking it's got to be over 40 years since I had a flat tire. I was at the top of the Skyway here in Buffalo and pop and put a piece of metal through the sidewall. Had to limp it all the way to the bottom. Everybody have a great day. And Roger, if you're still listening, listen for those QRP stations today. This is W2BLT.
Remember, anything under $14.99 is QR. Oh boy, and the Skyway. I thought I was bad. I had one 30 years ago on the 290 in the rush hour, but I think the Skyway would, I don't even want to think about that. Ariel, I see you just joined us in the Zoom room. Good morning, W4RHC.
Good morning to all. This is Whiskey 4 Romeo Third Charlie in the mobile. Alachua, Florida, heading to Gainesville this morning. A little foggy morning here. 64 degrees right now. It's just going to be a warm day for sure. But the last flat tire I had was in the Publix vehicle about 20 years ago. And unfortunately, I was driving an E150 van, the big one, the heavy one. The transits are very light. But anyways, these bands here only have like a small little jack. The jack that is provided by Ford is not really strong enough to lift up that band. As soon as I lift it up, the jack flipped over and the whole band fell in the ground while I took the tire out. So it was a big mess. But since God Publix now has roadside assistance, and it will break down on the road, they come over and fix the flat tire while I talk on the radio with my friends and crank up the AC. So it makes it really nice. So if you have insurance like Geico and stuff like that, it's super cheap to have roadside assistance. It's only like $2 or $3 per car per month. It's worth it. It is worth it. They do flat tires, they tow the vehicle, whatever. A lot of benefits. But Publix has roadside assistance now that they're paying for it, so we don't have to mess with it. I think we did have a lot of injuries in the past. Plus, it covers the semis, the big trucks. When they have a flat tire, they cannot fix it. Those big old semis, there's no way you can change the tire on one of those big old semi trucks. Back to the net with Romeo Third Charlie in the mobile, Alachua, Florida.
You have a nice day, Ariel, and thanks for joining us in the Zoom room. Last on this list, wow. It's tough to get through this list this morning, wasn't it, guys? Woo-wee! And we'll start some radio check-ins as well. Ed in Hollandale, Florida is going to be up next. AK6CF, good morning.
Good morning to one and all AK6CF. The last time I had a flat, it was indicated on my gauge. I had no idea. It wasn't completely flat, but I was able to make it to the tire shop. AK6CF, good morning to all.
All right, thank you. We got well over 500, way over 500 connections here this morning. Wow. Everybody's come to join us on Thursday, I guess. All right, let's take some new check-ins. Anybody, let me see if we have any mobiles. Let's just check here at 23 past the hour of the second hour. If we have any mobiles that'd like to get in this morning. Mobiles only, call signs twice.
Kilo Julius 5, India Mike Whiskey, KJ 5, IMW Mobile.
Whiskey
4 Tango Foxtrot Oscar NNL.
Kilo Charlie 5 Charlie Zulu X-ray KC5CZX.
75309.
I don't think so. Good morning to Darrow in Lubbock, Texas, KJ5CZX. Jason, W4TFO is in and out. Good morning to you, Jason. Lando Lakes, Florida. Isn't that the name of my butter? Lando Lakes Butter or something like that? Or Lando Lakes Butter? I don't know. Good morning, Robert in Houston. Why don't you get in here this morning? Your Mobile, KJ5IMW. And once again, our question this morning, for those of you that are tuning in late, when was the last time you had a flat tire? Good morning, Robert.
Morning, Brewsters. It'd be about a year ago. I hit a shopping cart on the road, and it hit the valve stem, and it pinched the valve just enough to push the stem in so it makes it a slow leak on a Sunday morning going to church, so you know that was a mess. Anyway, I'm going to slide this back to net control. This is KJ5IMW.
Thanks, Robert. Houston, Texas. You have a nice day. Zero, KC5CZX. Good morning.
Well, good morning, Dick and the rest of the Brew. Probably a little over a year ago, I just got new tires on the car, and I haven't had flat since then, so it's probably been just a little over a year ago. Back to net, KC5CZX.
There's zero less than a year, bringing our average down. When I give it back to Scott, he's doing well. He's bringing the average up, so I better get out of here soon. Anybody, anywhere, twice and slowly. This is Dick, WB2JPQ.
8 Bravo Papa Delta Double EPD. KF8 DIC. KF8 Detroit Rock City.
Victor Echo 3 Tango Golf November. Victor Echo 3 Tango Golf November. Kim Windsor, Ontario, Canada.
Kilo Charlie 5 Lima Whiskey Yankee. Kilo Charlie 5 Lima Whiskey Yankee.
K2AP. K2AP. Lima Alpha Victor.
KA4, Kilo Juliet 5, November Zulu KA4, Kilo Juliet 5, November Zulu Alpha.
Kilo Romeo 4, Kilo India Charlie. Kilo Romeo 4, Kilo India Charlie.
N3LLY. N3LLY.
All right, let me straighten a couple of these out. That wasn't all that bad. Good morning to Glenn from Glen Burnie, Maryland, and 3LL. Michael from Orlando, Florida, KR4KIC. Just before Michael, there was an NZ8, something like that, the November Zulu Alpha station only, please.
Kilo Juliet 5 November Zulu Alpha.
Rock, Texas. Okay, Douglas, we got you. Just before that, the KA4, KAZ or something like that, there was about 3 people came in at the same time. AZ or something that resembles that, please.
Alpha 4, Juliet Alpha Zulu,
7, Victor Whiskey
KA4, JAZ.
Okay, I should put that together, Alton, Midlothian, Virginia. I guess I didn't. And then there was an LAV. I think it was LAV. I heard AV at the suffix LAV.
Kilo Charlie 3 Lima Alpha Victor KC3 LAV. Back to you.
Mike, sorry, I should have put that together myself. We got you, Joe, East Islip, New York, KC5LWY. Andrew, we got Tim from Windsor, Ontario. Good morning to you, Tim. We'll get with you in just a moment. Jack from Rochester, and Brian from Warren, Michigan, W8BPD. I guess we'll go right to you, Brian. Good morning. A question for everyone once again. When was the last time that you had a flat tire?
Good morning, everybody on the Brew Crew. That would be 2 weeks ago. I had a bolt in my tire, and I had enough air pressure to make it to a tire store, and I had to buy a tire to replace it. Everybody have a great day. Back to Net Control, W8BPD.
Di attendere 5 secondi tra un passaggio e l'altro successivo. Ti ringrazia per la gentile collaborazione e vi auguriamo buon questione.
Oh, I don't know what that was all about, but good morning to them anyway. Yeah, thanks, Brian. You aren't helping my average. I'm gonna do a couple more, and I'm getting rid of this net. I'm gonna see what Scott can do. Get my average up. Good morning, Jack. KF8DRC.
Good morning, Dick. Good morning, everyone else. Yeah, about 15 years ago, I didn't know about it. I woke up next day, the flat tire was there on the left side. And it's very hard to see because when you walk in the house, you don't know. Then I had to call a tow truck. A tow truck said they cannot repair this tire. It's so big that nail was. And the screw, there was 2 of them, and I didn't know about it. Everyone have a good day. KF8, Detroit, Rock City.
You have a nice day as well. We'll see you all tomorrow, Jack. I'll end my day with Tim, who's with us every single day from Windsor, Ontario, Canada. V3TGN. Good morning, Tim.
Morning, Net Control, and everybody in the Brew. Well, I was heading to Dayton, Ambition, and then as I crossed the bridge, I had a valve down. But it went slowly with it. I got it fixed at a dealer there on I-75, so I didn't end up getting the flat, but I had a leak in the valve stem. See there, V3TGN, clear, and back to Net Control.
All right, Tim, thank you for checking in this morning, and let's see if we can bring that average up now. Let's try Andrew in Galveston, Texas, KC5LWY. Good morning, Andrew.
Good morning, sir. Thank you again. This is KC5LWY. It's been a couple of years, but I got another question. I'm listening to 20 meters right now, receiving some slow scan on 14230, upper side. What time did you say that 20 meter net was that y'all are talking about? I appreciate everything y'all do for us. Kilo Charlie 5, Lima Whiskey Yankee, Galveston Island, Texas. Thank you.
10 o'clock East Coast.
10 o'clock on the East Coast time there for the 20 meter net. Sorry about that. I had to double check there. Andrew, you have a great morning. Joe in East Islip. K2 AEP, good morning, Joe.
Good morning, Dick, and good morning to the net. I can remember that because it was about 4 years ago. I was just setting up a DMR radio at a friend's house, Whiskey 2 Papa Bravo. And when I came out after we got done looking at the car, it had a flat tire. By the way, the guy speaking that you just heard in double language, speaking in Italian, he said it's a good question and good morning to everybody. I don't know who he was, though. K2AP, back to net.
Oh, Joe, thank you for that translation. Yeah, I didn't understand it. Okay, thank you, and have a great day. Let's try Mike in Lititz, Pennsylvania, KC3LAV. Good morning, Mike.
Yes, I think I hope it's working now. This is GC3LAV, Mike, Warwick Township, Lancaster County, Pennsylvania. Beautiful, bright, sunny day. It's going to go up in the 70s today. Baseball, and as far as flat tires, it has to be over 15 years. Thank God. Back to my control. Have a great day.
All right, Mike, got you down there, and we're bringing that average right up there. Let's go to Alton in Midlothian, Virginia, KA4JAZ. Good morning, Alton.
Good morning, Godfather, and Scott, Mark, and everyone else. I had to think for a minute, but last time I had a flat tire was in Chengdu, China. They was building the subway. They had the steel plates on the streets, and I ran one of those steel plates, and it just cut the tire in half. Yeah, that was the last flat tire I remember. Back to net control, KA4JAZ.
Right, Alton, that doesn't sound like any fun there. You have a great day. Douglas, Round Rock, Texas, KJ5NZA. Good morning, Douglas. Try Douglas there in Round Rock, Texas again. KJ5NZA. Good morning. All right, well, we're going to mark him as an in and out and go on to Michael in Orlando, KR4KIC. Good morning.
Good morning. Last flat tire was probably about 2 years ago when my daughter was 16 at the time. She didn't bother to tell me that she ran over something, and she must have parked right on the hole because it was about 10 minutes from the house when I was trying to drop the kids off for swimming that all of a sudden it went flat on me. So it's kind of a bit stranded there. But that's, I guess, about 2 years ago. KR4K India Charlie. Back to net control.
All right, Michael. Yeah, kids, what are you going to do? All right, you have a great day. Glenn in Glen Burnie, Maryland, N3LLY. Good morning, Glenn.
Well, good morning. Good morning, Dick, and the rest of the crew. And, I remember that day distinctly. Just about over 3 years ago when I got back out of the hospital. And I was incapable. Oh, okay. I think I dropped my stuff out there. I remember that day distinctly. A little over 3 years ago. I had just gotten out of the hospital and I was incapable of changing a tire for myself. March 2023. Hello, Tess. Am I getting in there or am I dropping out on you?
Dropped out for a second there, but we got you back.
Yeah, okay, I don't know if it's the PTT on my M1K or I'm letting go of it. It was I used it as a learning experience and brought my grandson over to change it for me. Back to you, Ned. This is N3LLY.
All right, Glenn, we got you down for 3 years, and there's that M1KE group tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Time in the Zoom room. So you mentioned the mic. I just thought I would mention that too. We have some text check-ins here. Let me acknowledge Dave, WB8ODF. We have Jim in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. We have Frank in Lancaster. We have Tim in Windsor, Ontario. Carlos in Hollywood, Florida. And Mike, K7BWP, and another Mike in Buffalo, KE2FLO. Let's go ahead and take some more check-ins. Anyone, anywhere that would like to check in, we just need your call sign twice. And kind of space it out a little bit. Call now.
KR4MWW, KR4MWW. November Whiskey 3 United in W3U.
Oh, Lima. Kilo 9er. Go Julia Sierra K9 EJS in and out.
AE2HNA, Kilo Echo 2 Hotel November Alpha, in and out. Troy, New York.
Whiskey 3 Bravo Radio Lima. Whiskey 3 Bravo Radio Lima.
Sure, if I made it the first time. Kilo Bravo 2 Lima Sierra X-Ray, KB2 LSX.
Q4 KA4 Kilo Alpha Quebec. In and out. Good morning.
Recheck. W2AJZ.
KJ4ZFM. KJ4ZFM.
Delta Yankee 9 IVZ. Delta Yankee 9 IVZ.
All right, let me grab it here, and let's see, with that last station, DE9, come back with your call sign, please, twice, and go ahead. All right, try that station again, Delta Echo 9, question mark. If that was you, please come back with your call sign.
Delta Yankee 9, I visit Delta Yankee 9, India Victor Zulu.
Alright, it looks like we got it there. Delta Yankee 9, India Victor Zulu. Thank you for checking in. We'll get back to you soon. Have Robert, KJ4ZFM. We had Anthony, W2AV. And then we had a station K4 who was in and out, and that's all we got was K4. So if that sounds like you, please come back with your full call sign, twice and slowly.
Hello. Tango Juliet Sierra, was that it? A9 TPS, in and out?
Looks like it. Thomas, K9 TJS. All right, thank you for checking in. We got you in and out. Russell, KB2LSX. Brady, W3BRL. Had Troy, KE2HNA, who's in and out. We had, there's Thomas again, K9 TJS. We had David, NW3U. Had Mark, KR4MWW. All right, let's see. Let's go to the top of this list here, and that's going to be with Dave in Ypsilanti, Michigan, WE8ODF. Good morning, Dave.
Good morning, Scott and Vicki and Dick and everyone on this beautiful day. It's 44 degrees here in Ypsilanti, Michigan. A little overcast, but it's going to be a nice day. We're supposed to get up to around 50. I'm looking forward to that. As for the question of the day, please, for 40 plus years, I can't even remember the last time it happened to me. WB8ODF.
All right, Dave, we've got you down for 40 plus years. Yeah, and it's about 50 degrees here right now, and there's some yellow thing out there in the sky. All right, let's go to Jim in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, NW4Q. Jim, when was the last time you had a flat tire? Over to you.
Okay, good morning. It would be 3 years ago after a new roof. Good morning to you, sir.
All right, Jim. Boy, those roofs seem to, maybe they're in cohorts with the tire stores there. All right, checking in. Let's try Frank in Lancaster, New York. KC2JPQ. Good morning, Frank.
Good morning, Scott and Vicki and everybody on the Brew. 30 years ago, at a NASCAR race, got a flat tire when going home, bumper to bumper traffic. I changed that tire and only left 2 spots in line, so thought I did pretty good. They were kind of having a good time with me, running around like a chicken with my head cut off. But anyhow, not much going on, Scott, so have a great day. 7-3's KC2JPQ.
All right, Frank, sounds like you needed the pit crew there. All right, thank you for checking in, and have a great day. And let's move on to Tim in Windsor, Ontario, VETCS. Good morning, Tim. All right, we'll mark Tim there as in and out. And let's move on to Carlos in Hollywood, Florida, N1 CBM. Good morning, Carlos.
Morning, Scott, Mark, and everybody on the Brew 68 and partly here in the Hollywood area. Beautiful day. For me, I wish it was more like Dave's experience 4 years ago, but it's more close to Glenn's experience. It was the day before my replacement surgery 4 years ago exactly. So yeah, it's between it's 4 years for me on the flat tire. And 1 CBM. Back to you, Scott.
All right, Carlos, we got you down for 4 years. Thanks for checking in this morning and have a wonderful day. Mike in South Ogden, Utah, 7 BWP. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, this is Mike, K7BWP. Good morning to everybody. I think the last time mine was like 3 years ago, and it was just, I picked up a bolt on the way home from work, so I got that fixed. K7BWP, back to you.
All right, Mike, we got you down. Have a wonderful day. Let's try Mike in Buffalo, not too far from me, KE2FLO. Good morning, Mike. Hey, Mike, one more time there. Mike, KE2FLO. Good morning. All right, we're going to mark Mike. I say that twice. Mark Mike. Mike. All right, let's move on down the list. Mark in Orlando, Florida, KR4MWW. Good morning, Mark.
Good morning, Net Control. How are you? Hope you're having a great day. About 3 months ago now, I've been a victim of the Home Depot parking lot. It's fairly recent for me that I had a flat and have a truck and big tires, and man, it was a pain to change, and I had to take it to a tire store and actually get it patched. But it's about 2 or 3 months ago, so back to you, Net Control.
All right, Mark, thank you for checking in this morning. David in Garner, North Carolina, NW3U. Good morning, David.
Well, NW3U, good morning to the morning brew. Nice bright sunshine day here in North Carolina. It was about a year ago. Actually, there was a slow leak in the winter, and it was taking like a month and a half, and the tire would be down. I'd have to pump it back up. When I took the vehicle in for inspection, they inspected the tire and said, hey, you got a nail in your tire. And so I went and got the tire replaced. About a year ago. NW3U, thanks for what you do, and talk to you tomorrow.
All right, David, we've got you down for about a year. Brady in New Kensington, Pennsylvania, W3BRL. Good morning.
On to that. This is W3 Bravo Radio Lima. Yeah, a few years. I think about 3 for me. Was downtown in downtown Pittsburgh, and they were doing construction, and wouldn't you know, there was a big old sheet of metal on the road there, and see it, and sliced up the inside of the tire. So filled it up and quickly drove over to our tire shop and got it fixed. So it's been a couple years, but I haven't been then. So karma, I guess. Have a good day, everyone. Radio Lima.
All right, Brady, you have a great day. Russell in Little Egg Harbor, New Jersey, KB2LSX. Good morning, Russell.
Good morning. Doing the net. So, yeah, I guess I got a lot of flat tire stories that I can say, and
definitely nails in the tires. Like, I don't know, maybe that qualifies as flat. You still get where you are and you get it plugged. But the most memorable was a few years ago, coming out of Disney and like 11:30 at night with the family, and only an iPhone light to light a very unfamiliar car. But I have to throw in one on the way to the wedding, dressed in a suit, having to change it on the side of the interstate. That was a memorable one. And then another memorable incident was my brand new 1989 F-150, 4 flats in 1 week. So I was obviously traveling through a construction zone, and I didn't know.
All right, Russell. Sounds like you had quite the experiences there. All right, let's try Andy in Cheektowaga, New York. W2AJR. Good morning, Andy.
Well, good morning, and good morning, everybody on the net. Been about 10 years. Boy, I hope I didn't curse myself on that one, but I'm trying to put the knock on. Just a simple nail in the tire. Nothing, no big deal. Everybody have a great day. 7-3, back to you.
All right, Andy, we've got you down for about 6 to 10 years there. Let's try Anthony in Atco, New Jersey. Now, Anthony, when's the last time you rode in a car that had a flat? Over to you. Right, Anthony, one more time. W2AJV. Anthony, are you there?
Yes, I am, Scott. This is with 2 Alpha Julie Victor. I never changed a tire, but when my wife was alive, if there was something in the road that caused a flat tire, she invariably hit it. Back to net control. W2AJV, that was, I think, the last time in 2005. Back to net control, go Philly. W2AJV clear.
All right, Anthony, yeah. Some people just can't avoid those hazards there. Thank you for checking. Have a great day. Robert in Deltona, Florida, KJ4ZFM. Good morning, Robert.
Well, good morning to everybody, Vicky, and everybody else on the crew this morning. And thank you for welcoming me in. I actually have to say I have not had a flat tire. I have a scooter that I've had for about 6 years and rode it and haven't ridden it in about a year and a half almost now, but still never had a flat tire. So I'd say never had one. KJ4ZFM.
Oh, Robert, that's pretty good. Hope we didn't jinx you there. Thanks for checking in and have a great day. Let's move on down to, let's see, DY9IVZ in the Philippines. Good morning.
Thank you so much for the Matyari for we have to celebrate their family and all station discount. Everyone, wonderful day. So for next speaker, wonderful day. Have a great day. Always take care. And see the Philippines in Davao City at the evening. That's a QTR of 10 to 58 hours for preparing for rest my bed. But I'm waiting for calling my for participating in the picture for the part of attire. I have experienced last year using a bicycle, and that time the tire in the front bicycle is so struggle because I'm going to church and I'm calling to my podcast to secure my bicycle. I have no neighbor in the distance from my church. I'm so good for the time for continuing and recover. That's all. It's no matter what for the problem solved everywhere and every time. But praying for the Lord God. Thank you so much, sir, for back to you. Whiskey Bravo 2 CCQ. And you were manager Victor North Station, all 73 Mabuhay from the Philippines.
Right, we got you down for last year. Thank you for checking in this morning, and you have a wonderful day. Daryl in Concord, New Hampshire, and WB1DXN. Good morning, Daryl.
Good morning, Mark and Scott and the rest of the morning crew. It's probably been about, I'm going to take a guess, 20 years now. Don't jinx me on this at this time. Hopefully this is coming in okay. It's been a bad connections the last few days, so I don't know what's going on. But anyway, to avoid some of those things, look ahead, think ahead, plan ahead. Always have a way to get out of the way. And be safe. WB1DXN.
All right, Daryl, thank you for checking in, and I hope I didn't jinx you too. Let's try Rick in the Villages in 5. GI, good morning, Rick.
Good morning, Scott, Vicky, everybody else in the Brew crew this morning. It's a very foggy day here in the Villages. And to answer the question, about 6 months ago, we hit a pothole down by my Orlando airport. Took out the left front tire and unfortunately had to be replaced. But road hazard warranty is a good thing. Anyway, 73 and 5GI, back to net.
All right, Rick, yeah, you know you can't beat the road hazard warranty. I've learned that myself. And let's see, to wrap it up today, we have Joe in Florida, KO4FRR. Good morning, Joe.
Well, good morning, Scott. Good morning, Dick. Good morning, everybody in the Zoom room. This is Joe, KO4FRR. I would have to say probably 2 in the last, less than a year. Talk to you guys in the Zoom room as soon as we're done. KO4FR.
All right, Joe, we've got down for 2 in less than a year. Wow. All right, well, you know, that's going to wrap it up for the Morning Brew today, and we hopefully we'll see you tomorrow morning at same time, same station. So this is Scott N7FGP. I want to thank Dick, WB2JPQ, for helping along here, and Logger, Mark, KE2EDS. So I'm releasing the channel and letting everybody make normal amateur radio use. Whatever normal amateur radio use is, now's your chance. Okay, I'm clear.
KE2FLO with a comment. KE2FLO, comment for net control.
KE2FLO, go ahead.
Just wondering, when you called upon me during the net, did you hear anything that I said? Did I come through, or was I all static, or what happened there? Because I know I didn't get an answer out there. I went through the 444.150 repeater this morning.
No, I didn't hear anything at all. So that's, we marked you in and out there.
So I would assume that I can hear on it, but it's not picking anything up at this point. I tried to get in to check guys multiple times on it, was not successful. I actually used the text line for the very first time was today. And then when you called upon me, I gave you a whole return back, and you didn't hear a word I said on the 444, so I would assume that it's not picking me up at all, or it's not working. Its ears aren't working today.
All right, yeah, well, Dick is aware, I believe, of the issue there. So, anyhow, got you down now. So, thanks for checking in today, and N7FGP, all be clear.
I appreciate it. The answer was not in a while on the flat tire. My mistake. But yeah, he is aware of it. I just want to let him know. It probably is miles to shut that. I'm going to flip it over to this one and use this one for now until the issue gets resolved. Once again, thank you everybody out there. Thanks everybody for doing the net, and everyone have a great day again. This is K2FLO.
This is Kilo Charlie 2 Alpha Bravo Victor.